That was a very reliable. I mean, almost every single time we would break that trend line and test to oversold levels. It's actually one of the most reliable bearish signals that we've had for a very long time now. This one was a bit of a fake out, but eventually it played out. We tested oversold levels. And guess what? Bitcoin is doing that right now. That clip you just saw was from yesterday's video where we warned that Bitcoin did flash a bearish signal. And today we saw it play out. So we're going to be doing a follow-up video here to discuss what we can expect next for the price of Bitcoin, all of this and more in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today Bitcoin is playing out the classic daily RSI breakdown signal that tends to be extremely reliable and extremely accurate. And I'm sure a lot of people are probably upset, confused, whatever, but this is pretty standard price action for Bitcoin, actually. This is still a major potential higher low zone, right? So even though we do have this bearish signal right here, what you can see is that it's actually majority of it has already played out, because normally what we see is that Bitcoin tests the oversold zone on these breakdowns, right? Comes down to oversold just about every time. And Bitcoin is more than halfway to the oversold zone. So that's the interesting part, is that it's mostly played out by now. There's definitely room for more downside. We could go down to that 25,000 level. But also what I want to mention is that this daily RSI breakdown signal is not just something we saw in this bear market. It's also something that we saw in the bull market. And when you look at 2020 into 2021, you can see there were many of these signals where we broke down, but the price never actually reached oversold. It stopped somewhere before getting to oversold levels because the trend was macro up, macro bullish, higher lows, higher highs. So what you'll see is that whenever we had these breakdowns, there was a slight correction with a quick rebound, slightly larger correction here, quick rebound, correction, quick rebound, never touching oversold until over here when we really broke the trend. And so if you go down to where we are, well, first of all, look at the bear market, macro down, lower lows, lower highs. Every time we break the RSI daily uptrend, we test oversold every single time. And now things are a little different. Bitcoin is actually in a uptrend. So while it's likely that Bitcoin does test oversold levels, it's likely that we do reach it. We don't have to, because as we saw in the bull market, we didn't reach the oversold zone. But the breakdown signal itself is the reliable part, right? So basically, Bitcoin needs to hold this previous support zone, about 26,600. And if we can hold that area, it's possible that Bitcoin could have already played out most of this dump before some kind of rebound. If we break 26,600, then it's likely that we end up testing towards 25. And this would be an area where I would expect a lot of support at about 25,000. It's a pretty big zone. And at that point, we would likely be within oversold territory by the time of hitting 25,000. Overall, the structure would still be bullish. So what I'm saying is that there is a potential for us to come down to 25, hit oversold on the daily RSI, and we would still have, higher low structure, previous resistance, new support. That's all good. But we don't have to. We could, in fact, just hit 26.6 or bounce somewhere here. And that would also still be very, very good structure. And if you just look at this trend, a correction here is actually quite healthy, because if you just get continuous upside with no pullbacks, if Bitcoin had just continued up and didn't get any pullbacks, when that turnaround happens, the pullback is going to last much, much longer than if we pull back now, correct, coins change hands, and then we pump again. That's a lot of strength, right? It just proves strength. When you pull back like that and hold and go up again, hit new highs, pull back, hold, hit new highs again, it just proves that you have a strong trend. So this is actually pretty good. And we're still in parabolic territory. And so we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks now, or maybe even over a month, that Bitcoin is forming parabolic structure. And we said that we could go as low as 25,000 while still maintaining the parabolic curve. And this is a mid-cycle parabola, just like 2019, a mid-cycle parabola. You have the primary parabolic trend, which is the post-halving bull market, and then the bear market occurs, and then you have a mid-cycle parabola where we top out somewhere below the previous all-time high to go sideways and wait for the halving again, and then another primary parabolic trend forms. We break that trend, we come down, bear market, mid-cycle parabolic trend, we get a lower high somewhere below the previous high. I don't think we're actually going to go up to the top of this chart here. We'll probably top out somewhere around 48 if we do continue this parabola. But I wanted to show you guys this because, you know, I was talking about bearish stuff before the dump, and now we're dumping. But I know a lot of people are going to think that, like, oh, Kevin's bearish now. Well, I was bearish for this dump, right? I was bearish for this intermediate dip. But if we hold 25,000, I mean, that's still very good structure overall. And we could see a significant bounce. And I mean, and in the end, you know, just like this area here where everyone thought the world was ending, we end up getting a significant bounce off 25,000 or 26.6. You know, that's pretty good. That looks pretty good to me. And that is very nice parabolic structure, despite the insane volatility that is yielded whenever we create these types of trends. Because if you go back to 2017, same type of thing. We're going parabolic, right? And we break the short-term trend and we have a violent correction, but we stay within the parabolic curve, right? Happens all the time in these parabolic trends. So the area in which things would start to be really questionable is if we came down to 25 and ended up getting a lower high and breaking it. I mean, that is obviously very destructive. And at that point, we lose the parabola and the trend has potential to create a major decrease in momentum, right? Or like a head and shoulders, a decrease in momentum. So we don't want to be breaking 25. If we hold that, I mean, all good. We'll probably rally again and get an epic bounce off that level. So we'll see if we hold 26.6 or 25. There's really nothing in the middle of that. So at this point, we just got to wait to see where support truly comes in. And if we do, in fact, reach the oversold zone like we usually do in previous breakdowns. Overall, I'm still bullish on the market unless we break the parabolic trend line. Until then, we can just get a major higher low and see a nice rally. But we'll see. We'll see where support comes in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and check out the links below to support my work on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.